Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Roberters! Welcome to J is for Justice. My name is Jay. I am your host. Welcome to chat. We have a lot of members here. We've got someone new too. We have Cleta Newbie coming in hot with the first super chat of the day. Hey, Teresa. Teresa, are you my Teresa from Romeo? Thank you so much, Cleta Newbie. Love the name, Roberters.
Roberta.
So, we're going to have to redo. Hey, Auntie Cheryl. Auntie Cheryl and Angie B and Shell are all here. They're your moderators this afternoon. Welcome, Jan Gunning. Hello, telling their stories. I see some new names in here. Teresa, I'm wondering if... Oh my God, it's my Teresa. Guys, give my Teresa a huge welcome. She is from my hometown. Me and Teresa have known each other for probably, God, we're getting old, but probably going on 40 years. Oh my God.
That's how it played out.
Well, welcome, Teresa. That is so cool. I'm really excited now. Okay, so let's get our poll up because yesterday was a cluster. And I don't know who won between Naya and Emmy. So we're going to do Naya and Emmy over again because my connection was in and out. It was awful. So let's redo that and get that going. And then we will get into Adam's hearing. Sharon Tuck. Oh my gosh. I just got Canadian super sticker. Thank you, Sharon Tuck. $13.99 Canadian. Unique Trauma says, Jay, you best be taking care of our pussy on the screen. She is
JB,
getting well taken care of.
You have to stand down.
Stand down, Rexy. Rexy just donated
JB, it's
$5. Thank you,
stand down.
Rexy. JB, we have to stand down now. We've got Romeo in the house. Do I sound funny? Or do I sound normal? Wait, let's see. I want to try this really fast. Okay. Do I sound like a chipmunk or do I sound normal? Thank you, Sharon Tuck. You guys are the best for supporting the stream. You have to let me know if this thing is working. Do I sound really scary? I sound normal. Okay. I'm coming back. I'm closing this thing out and coming back. Hey, Potato. Incognito Potato. Thanks, Flo. 50-50. I sounded like both. My echo is chipmunk. Oh my God. All right, let me turn this shiz right off. I hope it doesn't still sound like that. It sounds like you when you wake up in the morning. Oh shit. Okay, so is it normal now? It should be like regular J. Let me know because I turned it off. All right, let's get our poll up. Always trying things new here. It's going to be pick your fave name. So you're going to pick the one that you want, and it's going to be between Emmy and Naya, and then the next one is going to be the winner is going to go against Justice. And Naya, just so you guys know, the person that sent that in said that it means beauty and water in Hawaiian. And I thought that was pretty cool. Hey, Mike Sanner. Hi, Cody Russo. Thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate it. So we have Adam Montgomery. That bum Adam Montgomery was in court today. So I don't know if everybody is familiar with little Harmony Montgomery's case, but Harmony Montgomery went missing December. Well, actually, now we have a date that she was actually killed. Was December 7th of 2019. But no one knew she was missing. No one reported her missing until 2021. And then they still haven't found her. But they did remove a refrigerator from a home that Adam used to live in. And they said yesterday that they had biological evidence. What up, Jimmy Rhino? So they had biological evidence as well. Brenda, what is your deal? Ooh. Oh, she didn't mean it. Oh, sorry, Brenda. I think I whoops. Naija. You guys say Naija? It's Naia. Naya. Naija. I'm sorry, Brenda. I thought you were saying a bad word. We're just a little on guard over here, you know. YouTube is not friendly to that kind of stuff. So sorry about that, Brenda. Brenda. We mistaken your comment. Yeah, so back to Harmony. So Harmony has not been found, but they do have biological evidence. They have, I think, Kayla turning on him and saying what happened. But now in this hearing today, they're talking about, because he was already going to go to trial for felony firearm charges. But now they're like, oh, we need to talk about this because now he's charged with second-degree murder. Hello, Mom to 3 kitties. So they're going to be talking about his charges, but then his lawyer, and by the way, these people have like zero personality. If you're used to watching Daryl Brooks, this hearing is going to be snoozeville because it's really super boring. They're boring people. I don't know why they're so boring, but they're boring. But his lawyer's talking about, you know, Kayla and how reliable her testimony would be and things like that. And then it got me worried. If they're holding on to hope that Kayla is going to be the star witness, I think we're in trouble. So let's go over to our handy dandy knob TV. I know, Teresa, you had one of these in your living room just like I did, and I miss it. I want to go back to those days, girl. But let's start this hearing, and I'll be stopping to kind of break things down or make comments while we go. This has a runtime of 23 minutes, just so you know. We'll be done in time for dinner, guys. And there is that bum, Adam Montgomery, in the flesh.
Ready?
Notice the matter state be Adam Montgomery, docket 216-2022 CR 20.
Oh my gosh, this audio.
2022 CR 577. Counsel, identify yourselves for the record, please. Start with the state.
Good morning, Jesse O'Neill for the state.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ben Agati for the
I
state.
try to turn it up.
Good morning, Caroline Smith with the Public Defender.
And Paige Peel-Buckley on behalf of Adam Montgomery, who appears to our right.
All right. Good morning, everyone. So we're here for a final pretrial. As you know, there are a lot of pending motions. You should have rulings on a number of them. There are still a number that are outstanding. I'm working my way through those. There are a couple of them that I do want to address today. And I think at least one of them we should address before we go through sort of the standard issues that come up for the purposes of the final pretrial. Before I launch into that, let me just ask you whether, I'll turn to you first, Attorney Smith, is there anything that you want to put on my radar screen as a preliminary matter?
Not a preliminary, I think, but it does have to deal with the motions in the order that they're heard in, and whether we're ready for trial or not.
Oh,
Exactly.
his
So
lawyer.
I'm thinking that you're referring to the motion to preclude?
Correct.
Yes,
Roberta.
that's the first on my radar screen as well. So let me just turn to the state. Does the state have anything other than, if we're going to start there?
It makes sense to start there.
Okay, very good. So, and I know, there was a response that was filed by the defense as well. Did you see that? It was just filed.
Yes, we saw it.
Okay. So let me tell you where, I've reviewed these pleadings, counsel. I think in terms of whether or not it's a discovery violation, almost, I'm not sure the court actually needs to make that finding. I would note, interestingly, neither party referred to 12b-5, which is the requirement to redact to provide a statement and redact when there's something you're not going to be providing. It doesn't look like that happened either, which is, I think the state could have utilized that rule
Does he
and
blink?
redacted a portion. I understand from what the state says that the issues in Kayla Montgomery's statement regarding the firearms were sufficiently intertwined with the statements made related to the homicide charges that the state chose not to do that. Either way, Attorney Smith, I
Someone
don't
call
think
Dr.
that the
Pimple
remedy
Popper.
here is to preclude the statement. I mean, even if the court were to find that they should have provided the statement earlier or should have used 12b-5 to redact, preclusion would be the most significant remedy. I think particularly now where he's already, Mr. Montgomery is now incarcerated on these other charges, to the extent that I were to find that it was that the change is sufficiently material such that I would allow a continuance, I don't think the prejudice to Mr. Montgomery at this point is especially high. The question is whether or not there really is such a change. I mean, certainly the new statement is new information to his case in that she made the statement, but as the state points out, there are a number of statements that suggest that Ms. Montgomery was present at the time that these firearms were alleged to have been in Mr. Montgomery's possession at the house. So that part of it isn't new. So I guess I'm going to look to you to tell me, whether, why is it such a significant change that the court should allow you to continue in, and B, if you even want to do so. It may be that you don't. But having reviewed all of the materials, the court does not find that preclusion of the evidence would be the appropriate remedy.
Thank you. Yes, it's a paradigm shift, the information that she provided. The information about her presence during what other people said happened is not the issue with her statement. There is a paradigm shift in the information that she provided to the state that didn't exist before.
Which is?
I got to tell you, it's come at me so quickly, the information that was happening, that I have to refer to my notes. But it's essentially that there are witnesses that you may have seen in pleadings and the like where, and certainly our alternative suspects or our 404B motion focused a little bit on Ishmael Garcia and his potential to be the alternative suspect. She gives an explanation of something that is not the same as what other people said before, which involved two other people that, as far as I can tell, is something new. And again, I haven't had time to digest all of this.
Well, you've had this, I understand, not as long as you could have had it, but since October 3rd. So and I know you're moving to preclude this.
Okay, this lawyer has had this information since the 3rd of October. It's October 27th, and she's like, I haven't had time to digest this yet. And the judge is like, no, you've had plenty of time to digest it and shit it out. What are you doing? You're the one that wants to make this go further and faster. So this lawyer is saying that Kayla has implicated 2 other people. And this lawyer isn't clear on if it's for the firearms charges or for the homicide charges. And I don't understand why she's not clear on that. She's his attorney.
So I guess I am looking to better understand. And as I said, I'm not going to preclude it because I think the appropriate remedy to the extent one is appropriate would be to give you additional time. But I'm trying to better understand what exactly is the new information that is this paradigm shift.
Oh my God.
Essentially, a claim that she observed 2 other people that perhaps this, implicating 2 other people that were not implicated before, as far as I could tell. And as far as
These
when
2
we
other-
got this, I
I'm sorry.
believe that we got this on
You can have the 7th.
October 7, after we had actually left for the day. And I think I put in the motion that Attorney Buckley and I were working on the holiday Monday when we came across this and started doing it. I won't articulate all the stuff that happened that week, but you also know that as we're looking at this, we're plotting forward with other motions and other things. What you perhaps don't know is that, what is it, 4 parts of the statement?
Oh my God.
3. That there are 2 parts of a statement from June 3rd. We got part 2. And then there's another statement later on. We didn't get that either. I understand that they were provided with a multitude of other CDs yesterday. So we have not gone through that. And that's pretty crucial information because certainly the state has provided information that no promises were made to Kayla. The beginning of the interview and that interchange is relevant to her understanding of that. I also understand
Okay,
that
I'm
there
going to
were...
stop you because you're talking in generalities here. I need to make sure that I understand what you're telling me. Are you telling me that now there's more new information that's coming on these firearm charges?
No.
Okay.
But the interplay between the firearm charges and all the other information that she provided is substantial.
Why
And
is
I
she being
need-
so evasive? Why doesn't she just say what the damn information is? Why can't she?
Be on top of that, the interplay between that and the new homicide charges might be more substantial, and I need to be on top of it. It is a paradigm shift in what the case was. It was a fairly narrow case before. It's perhaps gotten bigger, but I don't know all the information to actually tell you.
So are you telling me that in light of that there is new information coming related to both her cooperation with the state, as well as the information that you were provided on October 7th, that you do want to continue this case?
I cannot proceed to trial in this position if she is a witness. I am not prepared for trial if she is a witness.
So the answer to my question is yes, you would, I know that you have requested to preclude her entirely and go forward on the 7th. But as you heard the court say earlier, I don't think preclusion of the evidence is the appropriate remedy for this later disclosure. So based on what you're telling me now, which is that there's more than her acknowledgement of her presence
Yes.
at the location, and that information includes that there are other witnesses not previously disclosed that were disclosed. You said that she observed 2 other people. Those are 2 people who you didn't know about before?
I can't figure out who she's referring to, which of course might require a deposition. It might be somebody that somebody has mentioned before, and it might be actually somebody who is in prison at this time. But I don't have enough of a description to figure out who she is talking about.
Okay. And
Okay, but if Kayla's talking about someone specifically, why aren't they getting that specific information? You know what I'm saying? What kind? It's like they're talking in code. What kind of shit is this? Because I'm lost. I have no idea what this lady's talking about. Elaine?
Is in prison at this time, but I don't have enough of a description to figure out who she is talking about.
okay. And the other reason that you're indicating that, given that the court isn't going to preclude her statements, that you feel it's necessary to continue this is because there is additional information that is being provided to you that you think may impact in some way the firearms charges. Am I right about that?
My ability to impeach her, to understand all of her testimony, all of that, yes.
So some of the additional information that's coming to you are statements of Kayla Montgomery?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think the state provided it yesterday. They provided a lot yesterday, and we haven't had a chance to actually even index what we've gotten.
Okay. Let me just hear from the state regarding
Okay, yeah, let's
your
hear from the
position
state.
about a continuance.
'Cause this
So
is weird.
I can confirm that, so the 4 paragraphs referenced in the state's motion of other witnesses who had information about Kayla being more involved with the guns than she had let on in her initial statements were put there more as reference to the fact that there was indications that maybe those first statements from Kayla weren't truthful. However, I will confirm that in the statement that was turned over on October 7th, Kayla herself goes much more in depth about her involvement in what she saw in ways that go beyond what those 4 witnesses had shared. They simply either didn't share it or didn't know it or whatever, but there is new information directly relevant to Kayla, her connection to the guns, what she would say about the guns, what she would say about the defendant and the guns. There is new information directly relevant to that on the statement that was turned over on October 7th. The state is not, the state takes defense counsel's representation on their face. It is a lot of information, and if an experienced, trained defense attorney says she needs more time to fully assimilate all of that, the state's not going to stand in the way of that.
Who knows?
All right, I am going to give you alternative relief for the motion that you filed with regard to the motion to preclude, and that relief is that I am going to, I don't want to exactly say, I know you're avoiding, understandably, Attorney Smith, you're not requesting a continuance, but that's the alternative relief I would grant to you, and it's my understanding that defense would rather do that than move forward with her testimony as it is, and particularly in light of the new information. I will say this, at this point, if there is information that is to be disclosed, and it's in the state's possession, the state either needs to disclose it in a timely way. Under the rules, you have an ongoing obligation.
Yeah, what
if
the
it's something
heck?
that's going to be redacted, I draw your attention to that provision of the rule under Rule 12. I mean, if there's some ex parte reason why there's something that can't be disclosed, then you need to do it that way. You can't just hold on to information, okay? So I want to be clear about that.
Did I ask them to do that?
I was going to suggest, since I don't know what the information that we just recently got is, there is a hearing coming up early November, maybe the 7th?
Oh my God, she
in
doesn't know.
the homicide indictment or complaints. And I was wondering if we could perhaps address timing at that point, because then I'll know what I've gotten.
That's on the 22nd, I believe, the structuring
Oh,
conference?
yeah.
The 22nd.
November
So rather than choose a new trial date now, you'd rather wait, put both of these on for the 22nd. I don't have any concern with that. That would be fine.
Oh my God,
So
someone
I'll put this case on
screw
for
in their mic.
further status on the 22nd. Any objection to that?
No objection. It's, we're currently scheduled for 15 minutes. That discussion might take a little bit longer if there's any way to get more time from the court. But
Okay.
You think? He killed his little girl. I think it might take a little bit longer.
What you are witnessing is real. The participants are not
Yes,
actors.
actually. How long do you want?
Oh my God.
maybe half an hour?
Okay, that's
That
fine.
sounds about right.
And you know what, I'm going to put it on for 45 minutes because we don't have to do this today. I'm going to direct you to a couple of other issues that I want you to talk about and work through between now and then. So the stipulation with regard to status as a felon,
Ooh, those eyeballs.
you know, the motion to sever was denied. I think a stipulation is appropriate. What the parties believe that that stipulation should look like is disputed. Because on the armed career criminal, I think the state is looking to list all the possibilities. I will say I have some reservation about doing it in the way that the state requests. I think that what I would like you to do is between now and then, work on a stipulation
It looks like he wants to kill the judge, honestly.
that avoids the prejudice that you're trying to avoid, and takes into consideration the position by both parties. I mean, you know, the stipulation that he has been convicted of felonies against the property, against property or person, certainly that language would be appropriate, and that he has a sufficient number of qualifying convictions
know,
for
Mike
purposes
Taylor.
of
It's
the
weird.
armed career criminal, if that's the kind of stipulation that you're talking about. But I think that, you know, exactly what that stipulation looks like, I don't feel like I have enough information from the two of you about exactly what you can agree on and what you do not agree on and what the court needs to decide. So I want to sort of head you down the road to, and I'm going to hold that, I'm not going to rule on that now, I'll hold it in abeyance until further conversation. The other one that I have is the state's request for, excuse me, the defense request for special voir dire. And I'll tell you, Attorney Smith, I'm not inclined to require them to submit to the written questions, but I am inclined to ask additional
Told you these people are
voir
boring.
dire. I'm inclined to give you additional time. So I want you to talk to each other about that as well. I think we can craft a series of questions, and I think the parties can probably work together, and if not, the court will devise some questions. I think the questions are appropriate, but I don't know that it needs to be outside the ordinary course of how we would do things in terms of asking the general pool. So, and we don't, you know, I know some of them are sort of essay-type answers. Even during COVID, when we did written questionnaires, we didn't do that. So I'll let you to have that conversation with each other, see if there's some agreement that you reach. If not, then we'll have a better idea of what the court needs to decide. And it may just be that I draft some questions, but I'd rather have you, the four of you work through that
Oh
issue.
my
Because I
God,
do
spit
think
it out,
certainly
lady.
do think it's appropriate to ask some additional questions to make sure that we get a jury that's impartial and fair. So those were the three pending motions that I wanted to discuss today. The other ones, I think I can rule on the pleadings, if I haven't ruled on them already.
So as the court's considering motions, I'll let the court know, the state is intending to withdraw, and I'll file the formal document today, the motion for, to admit testimony of the domestic violence history through Kayla Montgomery in the case in chief. We're going to withdraw that motion.
Okay.
Reserving the right, of course, should the door be opened under any of the established doctrines in case law to perhaps revisit the issue, but we're not intending to introduce that in the case in chief.
All right, would you, you'll
I will.
submit
I'll
that
file that
today?
today.
Okay. Anything else, Attorney Smith, that we can accomplish today?
Anything
I'm
else, Elaine?
thinking there needs to be argument on the motion in limine about other firearms, about prior bad acts, and about prior bad, of my 404B motion, and then the prior bad acts of witnesses. But again, I think that that is more appropriate prior to trial as we relook at all the evidence,
So,
not to be heard today.
okay, so let me just,
What?
I know that the firearms one has not been ruled on. I know the prior bad acts, 404B. Let me just look at my list, hang on.
When you have a list of charges, why waste taxpayer dollars? This guy is
So
obviously.
you want a hearing on
He's
those?
crap.
Is that what I'm hearing from you?
I'm thinking that they should be held for the motion in limines to be heard shortly before trial, that, you know, we might be filing more or changing these depending on the information and how we plan to go forward at trial. It may change things.
Sure.
Okay. So, I'm just thinking about how best to, essentially, I can hold everything in abeyance, not rule on anything that I haven't yet ruled on, and I know at least the ones that you've mentioned, I haven't. I did some additional rulings last night that you may not have yet, but
Okay.
not, they're mostly they're not the ones that you've just discussed here. I can not rule on those, but what I'm going to ask you to do is somehow file some kind of notice with the court in advance of our next, the trial, so that I have, so
Yes.
we're not right on the heels of the trial before you're saying, let's do this. If we need a hearing, we'll schedule a hearing, something like that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. While we're talking about filings, please, filings in a proper PDF format. The filings are coming in, I don't know exactly, some of them are scanned.
No
They have
Microsoft
blank
Paint.
pages in the middle, so,
Elaine.
the court, I check to see, does the sentence follow through when there's a blank page? Does it look like there's a missing page? But I think they're scanned in instead of
No notepad, Elaine.
PDF'd. Anyway, so I think more from the defendant than from the state. So just make sure that
Okay.
and not all of yours are being filed that way. Some of them are, some of them aren't. So just
Good
please,
Lord.
The appropriate PDF format.
In the name
unless
of
there's
Jesus,
some
Father
reason
God,
why
Lord.
It can't be done, but,
Okay.
yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll have to find out because I have actually no idea which is which because I don't usually do it myself.
Okay,
It could be that when I'm doing it, I'm causing the problem. I don't know.
okay. Well, I'll leave that to you to figure out.
Oh, for the love.
So we're on for the 22nd. I'm going to put all three cases on then for that day. We'll put it on for 45 minutes.
You're going to
and
need
that
longer
should
with
take care of that.
Elaine.
Is it going to be the same start time of 8:45?
It's on right now, yes. Unless there's some reason not to do that.
Not from us.
Okay. Okay, all set. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you downstairs.
Guys, we learned like a whole lot of what? So I guess we're back in court on November 22nd for this. His lawyer doesn't seem to have details. It sounds like the state has been holding information from his lawyers, and that's not good. So this hasn't even begun. He's only been arrested and charged with second-degree murder. I don't even think he's had like an arraignment yet. I haven't seen an arraignment come up. And this is already a thing. The judge is already kind of reprimanding the prosecution on holding on to evidence and not handing it over. You're right, Cheryl T. We learned that nobody's prepared. And we learned that the dude has evil shark eyes and he's got no soul behind them. So that tattoo, is that someone said Pennywise in the teardrop. Yeah. I agree, Renee. Renee's got some truth there. People in jail do not like people in jail who hurt children. And he is an absolute monster. Make sure you guys get your votes in. We are doing Emmy versus Naya. And then the winner of this one is going to be against Justice. And it's pretty close right now. We've got 190 votes. Let's see if we can get a few more votes in. We've got 277 of you. I would love to see at least 220 votes before we end. So Elaine is officially his lawyer's name, according to our channel. So Elaine needs more time. It's Pennywise from It. That's weird. But yeah, if you guys didn't hear that the police gave a press conference the other day and said how he murdered his daughter and it was hitting her in the head. And I think they're getting some information from Kayla, but I think there was also evidence in that refrigerator because Kayla said, let me get my notes. Because Kayla said it was December 7th that she was killed, but she doesn't remember the date, obviously, of when she was disposed of with whatever he did to her. So whatever he did to her, it must have been bad because I think they got the evidence from that refrigerator and maybe that's how they were able to determine where she was struck or where she had her injuries. What was the thing that did her in? Hey Mike. Hey John McSmith, always coming in to say hi, shouting me out. Thank you, John. All right, we've got 203 votes for the kitty. Let's see what else is going on in the world before we end. Maybe there's something else that has broke since we went live. Phone call between Kayla. Have you guys heard this?
4.
Kayla Montgomery and Adam Montgomery's father at bail hearing. This is 5 months ago. Have you guys heard that? That's what I'm thinking, Jimmy Rhino. Like brain matter, because they said it was, yeah. It's so sad. It's so gross. Harmony's body has never been found, but in the press conference yesterday, they really made it sound like he had done something really horrific to get rid of her. I did watch the interrogation a long time, like a while ago, a couple months ago. I know Law and Crime just put the interrogation out today, and that's not new. That's an old interrogation, just so you guys know. John McSmith, I don't have that kind of update. Okay, let's listen to the phone call. This is a phone call between Kayla and Adam's father. And this must be at her bail hearing 5 months ago. All right, here we go.
2 South 7 plus 0.
I hope they do better than. I hope they do better than this.
My bad tape. Oh man. All right.
You got a pen?
Yep.
So it's 1 3 5 2 9.
Yep.
Marilyn Court. MARILYN.
Okay.
Florida,
Okay.
34666.
Did he say tamper?
Alright, yeah, what's crazy was, I don't know, did you get a Facebook message from this girl Whitney? Friend request, because what's so crazy, it's crazy that I got your letter and everything, because I saw that you put money on my account, and I was just saying to the chick, I was like, dude, I wonder if I could get a hold of him somehow, or whatever, right, because I didn't remember your number, it was in my phone, but I didn't remember it. And then I was like, and I know he was in Florida, and I was like, dude, I need you, because this chick just got out on drug court, and I was like, I need you to go on Facebook and look up my dad. And she was like, what's his name? And I was like, all right. And I told her, and she just sent it last night, sent you a Facebook message or whatever, asking for your number and your address so I could write you and call you. And then I got your letter today, and I was like, that's crazy.
I don't think she did.
All right.
Or she
Little
found it.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
But, nah, even though she found like an old Facebook and not the one.
Right.
Because I have like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
At least 2 that I know of that are, when you punch my name up, still come up.
Yeah.
So,
She has like a million.
right, exactly, like that. And,
What is she looking up at?
plus,
Daryl Brooks?
a lot of my,
Yeah.
because I'm getting so many requests from people trying to
Talk to you.
say all this stupid online news
I got
people.
a letter.
And
I got a letter from WMUR from Amy Cavino asking for an interview. I got a letter from someone from where is it? Illinois or Indiana, something like that, asking me questions. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, leave me the f alone, dude.
right.
And then it's like, Thursday, I know these people are going to be standing out. Like, it's going to be on the news because I'm on the news every time. So I know when I put this on news, it's going to be, oh, she's getting released. They're going to be outside the jail and everything. They were banging outside my window when I first got here. I was over on the windows on like Willow Street side, on the bottom floor on the top. They came outside my window and everything was banging and everything. I was like, what the f, dude?
Really?
Yeah, they had to move me.
Right.
Bullshit.
Right. So,
But yeah, I'm going to send you, I wrote you a letter, but I'm going to mail it out tonight and I'll send the pictures with it of the kid.
yeah. And, let me know if they need anything out there, if shit, if you guys,
Yeah, I'll
if you
send,
need something specific, something I can get for them, or,
yeah.
I need something to help out, I know, I don't know how your mother's situation is, but, just let me know if there's anything I can do.
Yeah, I will.
Do you guys even know what they're talking about? I don't even know what these people are talking about. I can barely understand them. How is this even evidence? Do you guys want me to keep playing it? Let me know if you want me to keep playing it. And yeah, she reminds me of Amy Fisher, Joey Buttafuoco's chickie. Didn't Amy Fisher... You guys, I can't... Yeah, I can't understand the shiz either. Yeah, it's really bad audio. It's not me, it's them. I promise. Grounds. Mike, do you watch Steve Oatley? Yeah, it is. It's just noise. I wonder where Amy Fisher is now. Want me to look it up? Amy Fisher. Let's check out Amy Fisher. Look, she was on Oprah. Mary Jo was on the Today Show 4 years ago. That was his wife. Oh, that's new to you, Mike? Grounds. Is this her? Amy Fisher? Oh, there's a wrestler or something named Amy Fisher as well? All right, let's play a clip of Own. I'll probably get
In her
struck.
book, If I Knew Then, Amy describes.
Okay, hold on. Let's go up here. Let's hear her talk. Oh my gosh, it's Kayla all cleaned up.
I didn't have teenage boys telling me I had a vasectomy.
So we had sex, and he kept saying all these really sweet things to me. And your thinking was, okay, Joey, we had sex, now you're my boyfriend.
She was so young. So young.
And so then after that encounter, did you continue to see him? That was it, right? You saw him then every day,
At first I did, and, you know, it was at least twice a week for a year. You know, but I want to make clear, too, that Joey, he knew me casually for about a year. He knew the relationship I had with my father. You know, my father would yell at me in front of people. He knew I was vulnerable. And I think that he prayed...
You were going what?
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable, okay.
Oh my gosh, she couldn't understand her. Yeah, the Amy Fisher Joey Buttafuoco story is pretty crazy. You guys want to see Joey Buttafuoco? Who's Jesse Buttafuoco? There's a show, it's 2020. It's called Growing Up Buttafuoco. Oh, I do remember the Lifetime movie. There he is now, you guys. Ew, that's Joey. It says new wife, new life, 7 years ago. Here's Joey. Oh my goodness gracious, we are old. There's Mary Jo Buttafuoco. There's quite a few videos with them, you guys. And there's the happy couple. Yeah, oh my gosh. There's so many old, look at Amy Fisher.
With her face hidden by her long red hair, 17-year-old Amy Fisher declined to answer questions while being taken to court.
17 years old.
Amy, how long did you know Joe Buttafuoco? The Kennedy High School senior is charged with attempted murder and criminal possession of a weapon in connection with Tuesday's shooting of Mary Jo Buttafuoco, the wife of the teen's alleged 38-year-old lover, Joe Buttafuoco.
She became involved in a sexual affair with him about a year ago. Joseph Buttafuoco was attempting to walk away from that affair recently, and Amy Fisher had an infatuation with him. That led us to the incident that occurred on Tuesday.
Sure. Neighbors who live near Fisher said off camera they'd heard of the alleged affair, and one teen who knows the accused says Fisher has some strange habits.
Some people on the block have seen her because she used to keep her blinds open when she used to get dressed. And some people on the block have seen her getting dressed.
Fisher was arrested after Mary Jo made a miraculous recovery Wednesday and provided police with information about the shooting.
They took her off a respirator and they took the tubes out of it, and she was able to provide us with some key clues in this case that led to the arrest.
Police picked up Fisher Thursday night while she was driving on Merrick Road.
This
Neighbors
is crazy.
near the shooting had seen a dark-colored sports car near the Buttafuoco's house the morning of the incident. Whether or not those were the same cars?
All I'll say about that is that the investigation is continuing.
Police say more arrests are expected in the case, but they declined to say who might be named. In Mineola, Hillary Strauss, News 12, Long Island.
Dude, what year was this? Do you see how the times have changed for us? Holy crap. If this happened now, she was 16. Let's get this bum off the screen. If this happened now when she was 16, can you imagine? Cheryl. What the heck? Oh, man. What year was this, you guys? I don't remember. He was 38? You're kidding. Hold on. He was born in 56. I'm going to throw up. He got married in 77. I don't even think Amy was born. This is gross. Okay, think about this. She was 16, 17 years old, and the tabloid news covered or labeled her the Long Island Lolita. She was 16, 17, and they nicknamed her the Long Island Lolita. Instead of labeling him the Long Island Creeper and putting him in jail. Okay, so in 91, the year I graduated, in 91, they began a sexual relationship after Fisher took her vehicle to Buttafuoco's auto shop. And then in 92, was May 19th of 92, Fisher confronted his wife, Mary Jo, at their house. When Mary Jo answered the door, Fisher, posing as her own fictitious sister, Anne Marie, offered as proof of the affair a T-shirt that Joey had given her with the logo of his auto body shop on it. The front porch confrontation escalated, and when Mary Jo demanded that Fisher leave and turned to go in the house and call Joey, Fisher shot her in the face with a .25 caliber semi-automatic pistol. Once Mary Jo regained consciousness, she identified Fisher as her assailant. She actually, I mean, it's amazing she survived. Buttafuoco's lawyer maintained that he was never involved with Fisher. What a pig. What a pig. And said that she invented the affair. And then Fisher's lawyer portrayed Fisher as a victim who Buttafuoco manipulated into the shooting. After Fisher's assault conviction, Buttafuoco was indicted on 19 counts of statutory rape, sodomy, and endangering the welfare of a child. He pled not guilty. He later changed his plea to guilty, admitting that he had sex with Fisher when she was 16 and that he knew her age at the time. He was sentenced to 6 months jail time and was released after 4 months and 9 days of the sentence. Listen to this. Unrelated charges. In 95, he pleaded no contest to solicitation of prostitution and was placed on probation for 2 years. In 2004, he was sentenced to a year in jail and 5 years of probation after pleading guilty to insurance fraud. As part of the sentence, he was prohibited from working in the auto body industry in California for the rest of his life. So he must have moved out to California like a big TMZ movie star that he is. In August 2005, he was charged with illegal possession of ammunition. As a convicted felon, he is not legally permitted to own ammunition. Probation officers found the ammunition during a search of his home. He pleaded no contest and began serving his sentence on January 8th of 2007. He got out on April 28th, 2007. And they'll still pay him to come on talk shows. Shame on you, Oprah. Wouldn't give this creep a dime. And like, who cares about his story? He's a scum. He should be labeled a scum. Ugh, this is gross. Look at this. On March 5th, 2009, Joey Buttafuoco appeared in an episode of Judge Pirro, successfully suing an adult film actress for failure to pay an auto body bill. What?
What?
And then he was also on Judge Judy with Ruth Webb, whoever that is. Meanwhile, his ex-wife was on Larry King Live. Oh, Lord. Look at this. Oh, here we go. We've got some Bobbitt information.
John Wayne Bobbitt's penis.
In 2002, Buttafuoco participated in celebrity boxing. Originally slated to oppose
John Wayne Bobbitt's penis.
But he couldn't because John Wayne Bobbitt dropped out after being arrested for domestic abuse. Bobbitt was replaced by female pro wrestler Joni China Laurer. Buttafuoco, despite being booed, won the fight. Oh my God. And then in 2006, he and Fisher were reunited at the Lingerie Bowl. I can't. So then Mary Jo, his wife, wrote a book, Getting It Through My Thick Skull, Why I Stayed, What I Learned, and What Millions of People Involved with Sociopaths Need to Know. She was inspired to write the book after her son referred to her ex-husband as a sociopath. Not knowing what the word meant, she looked it up and had a realization which led to her going public with her story. And that was published in 2009. Whether he's married or not, I don't know. Let's see. See full bio. Is it going to let us read it? He's only 5'11". BC. I know, reunited? Like, really? He is an actor known for the underground comedy movie Finding Forrester and Perversions of Science. He's been married to Ivanka Frankel since March 5th, 2005. Oh, she filed for divorce, see? Oh, man. Do I even dare look up this lady? Ivanka Frankel. Okay, we're going to do it. Oh, Lord, that's him. Holy. How much did he have to pay her to marry him? Make it make sense. Exactly, Cheryl. Cheryl's like, I'd have to pay. I feel the same way. You guys, we got 257 votes. I'm so excited. It looks like Emmy won over Naya. Next stream, we will do Emmy versus Justice. Yeah, he probably paid for her. For real. Hey, Baby Beth, thanks for subscribing today. Welcome to the fam. Yeah, a little grotesque there. Joey? Doey? Who's this guy? Her boyfriend? That's what it says. Whoa. Okay, I take that back. Whoa. This is Joey Buttafuoco's wife. Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof.
John Wayne Bobbitt's penis.
Guys, make it make sense, please. Please. When I search on the internet, it's never a good thing. Yeah, Streamlabs, thank you. Streamlabs agrees. She married him in 2005. She's 60. Her brother's name is Frank Frankel. It just says employed. She was married to Andrew Torchon and Joey Buttafuoco, and then Nick Torchon is her child. She went to California State University. This is all messed up. These sites. This is a South African site. South Africa. Leo, where are you? Caroline is married to her brother named Frank, a highly skilled auto mechanic. This is so wrong. But the picture doesn't lie. That is Mary Jo, and that's Joey. That's what he looked like. That's what he looked like when he was screwing around with 16-year-old Amy Fisher. Hey, Jay. What's happening?
She said, we came home.
She said,
we planted flowers
on the side of the house. All right, let's see what else is going on in the world. Let's see if we can find anything else. So it looks like Emmy is the winner unless we get like a major influx. Oh my gosh. That's Amy Fisher right there with her lawyer, I guess. If we get an influx of votes. Yeah, he should have been in prison, honestly. This body cam you can find on my channel of Adam. That's old as well. There's a missing teenager in Boston, it looks like. Let's watch this.
This community is determined to bring Colleen Weaver home. She disappeared last Tuesday, over a week ago.
A week ago?
I just want her home. We miss her so much.
It's been 10 days since Kristen Weaver's daughter Colleen left her house in the middle of the night, apparently to meet up with someone she met in a social media chat room.
No.
Someone who authorities believe preyed on the 16-year-old and who her mom is convinced is now holding her against her will.
What's becoming pretty clear to me is that whoever this person is knew what they were doing. But I really, truly believe that if she were able to reach out, she would have by now.
Kristen says Colleen is an easy target. She suffers from neurological disorders that impact her judgment. She tends to be overly trusting, easily manipulated.
Well, she's vulnerable. She's vulnerable to, anybody, any kind of predator. There's like a connection that's missing between action and consequence.
Now the FBI is involved. It's IT forensics experts trying to trace a digital footprint that might lead them to Colleen. The teen had limited access to social media, but that night last week snuck onto her brother's laptop and appeared to screenshot and share with someone directions to her house.
The logistics of what happened don't matter to me anymore. I just want her home. I just want her home.
This is
Now, we are
horrible.
expecting to hear from police tonight at the vigil. Authorities have told us that it's possible that Colleen has traveled more than 100 miles from this area in any one direction, so this search really has expanded beyond state lines. And it's also really important, because of that, to get her pictures out there on social media. We'll have more on that coming up tonight at 6.
All right, I'm subscribed to this channel. I'm going to keep my eye on this one. This was only 11 minutes ago. She left home early morning hours of October 18th. Colleen Weaver. This is horrible. This is like our worst nightmare, right? That someone gets lured online. Colleen Weaver missing. FBI, okay. FBI has joined the search because they think it went over state lines. This is Fox News. They believe the teen is in danger. The FBI has joined the search for a missing 16-year-old Massachusetts teenager whom police believe is in danger after vanishing from her home in Raynham last week. Raynham police have announced they're reviewing more than 50 tips from citizens across New England and beyond in hopes of tracking down Colleen Weaver, who left her home sometime between 1 and 4 on Thursday, October 18th. It has been a week. We are humbled by the outpouring of prayers and well wishes, the missing teenager's father, Casey, told Fox News Digital. Investigators earlier this week asked residents of Springfield and Provincetown, Massachusetts, Bristol and Hartford, Connecticut, Wells, Maine, Brattleboro, Vermont, and Concord, Portsmouth, Manchester, and Keene, New Hampshire, to be on alert for Weaver, who they say may have traveled to a location approximately 100 miles away. And this is her. This is Colleen Weaver. The FBI's Boston field office is among the agencies now assisting in the search. Without any contact from Weaver since her disappearance, she is believed to be in danger, and anyone with information about her whereabouts or who may have seen her recently is asked to contact the Raynham Police Department immediately or call 911. And her dad told Fox News, "We believe that she was lured from the home by someone." So they're having a candlelight vigil tonight. And here's another photo of her. Oh, with her kitty. And they're on it too, but it's like, why are they now on it? What happened a week ago? Why weren't they doing this a week ago? Okay, they did begin. All right. The Raynham Police Department is committed to doing everything it can to safely locate Colleen, and we appreciate the immense support we have received since our investigation began last week. So they did start last week. We're just now hearing about it. But this is Colleen Weaver, and it looks like Casey Weaver gave the picture. So I don't know if that's her mother, but how horrible, how scary. That mom must be just sick. Let's see. You got to be careful on these damn Xboxes and stuff. She's 16. Two days ago, 2 hours ago, they're saying she could be in Maine. I wonder if she took her phone. Okay, it says she's not been seen since October 18th and is believed to be about 100 miles from home, which includes southern Maine. If you're in this area, let's see what this video is.
Raphael Warnock has Joe Biden's back. Other Democrats may abandon Biden. But
oh my gosh. Shut
up. Whether it's the Green New Deal, the climate crisis, immigration policy,
Shut up with the politics. I can't wait till this election's over.
Right now at 5, it has been more than a week and still no sign of 16-year-old Colleen Weaver. She's from Raynham,
What happened?
Massachusetts.
And now there are fears that she may have been lured from her home by someone she met online, and it's possible that she could be here in Maine. Jim Keithley is live in Wells to explain Maine's interstate response to this missing person case.
They live in Wells. Lord.
Allie, police have information that Colleen is 100 miles away from home, and that could put her here in the Wells area. Police here, though, are saying they're ready to help, but they need more information.
I am so worried because this makes me think that she's being held against her will.
Colleen Weaver's mom frantic over the disappearance of her daughter. It's been 8 days. Kristen Weaver said she passed her daughter in the hallway of their home about 1 a.m. on October 18th. In the morning, she was gone. They discovered information on a laptop that she was chatting with someone online and a screenshot of directions to the family home in Raynham.
She's a very trusting kid. You know, she's very easily manipulated.
Her mother says Colleen suffers from neurological disorders that impact her judgment. Her mother says Colleen brought no other clothes, no money, no cell phone.
In my opinion, all of that is just a recipe for disaster.
Police agencies from Connecticut to New Hampshire and Maine now on the lookout. Captain Jerry Congdon of Wells PD says they're equally concerned and eager to help, but they don't know where to look.
She could be anywhere. If there'd be more effort, the officers would be concentrating more on trying to locate her in various places if there was some credible information that she was here.
What?
But so far, no sightings in this area. If you have any information about this case, you're asked to call the authorities down in Rainham, Massachusetts.
What makes them think she's in Maine? And this cop's like, well, if they spent more time looking for what? They should be able to get some information from that laptop, wouldn't you think? Don't you think they should be able to figure out who she was chatting with?
Point, don't be jealous that I've been chatting online with babes all day.
I mean, have they not learned anything from the Delphi case? Cheryl, I get the feeling that she has had to be talking with whoever she is with prior to that night. Teresa, really? And you haven't seen anything about this? Jerry, you said something a little bit ago, and I was going to ask you about it, and now I forgot, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, you said Leslie died. The one from the Wells case. The one in Allie's video? How did she die? Angie B, thank you for being here tonight and enjoy your dinner. You need to feed the Taz and the term. Yeah, I mean, if you're not on social media, I guess they assume that everybody is. How did she die? Leslie Hill. That's crazy. They have to know more. They have to know more. If they suspect she's in Maine, so maybe they trace the IP to Maine. BC proud. Thank you to the British Columbia. Right, openly avoidant. That's what I'm wondering. I want to listen to this cop again, because it sounds like they're trying to he feels like they're trying to push it on him to find her, and he's like, well, there's been no sightings here. If they looked harder. Like, what?
To New Hampshire and Maine now on the lookout. Captain Jerry Congdon of Wells PD says they're equally concerned and eager to help, but they don't know where to look.
She could be anywhere. If there'd be more effort, the officers would be concentrating more on trying to locate her in various places if there was some credible information that she was here.
So I wonder what makes him think that they're not trying to locate her. Yikes. Hey, Sheena. Thank you for being here. And you are from Maine. Welcome. And you did see it on the news. Well, hopefully someone sees something and says something. And, that's, I think, the biggest takeaway from all of these cases that we follow is see something, say something. I mean, we had the babysitter in the Quentin Simon case come out and say there were all these bruises and there were this and that and the other. But what ultimately ended up happening? They think Quentin's dead. It doesn't sound like they're collaborating very well together. It's a shame because there's a girl out there who's obviously been lured away, and it's been going on 9 days. So if you're in Maine, and Maine is only that big, it's like this big. It's like that big. Like you're in Maine and you look around and you go, I'm in Maine. I mean, it's not huge, right? So Thursday night vigil tonight. All right, here's another one. Heart of Gold. Colleen Weaver in danger, missing after using brother's laptop. Can you imagine how her brother feels? If she's out there scared because she's afraid to reach out, that's all her mom and dad want is for her to reach out. That's a close friend. She left the house with nothing but clothes on her back and her glasses. Okay, so they're asking the general public to be aware and aid in her search. So the friend that spoke out has known Colleen's mom since grade school. Does that sound familiar, Teresa? They both grew up in Raynham, and McNally said they started to become close when they both had their first children. The Weavers adopted her. Oh my gosh. When the Weavers adopted Colleen, the family's second child, McNally said she also had her second child at the same time. The two children were born only 6 weeks apart. Kristen's oldest was my oldest first friend, and Colleen was my second's first friend as well. We know each other very well. The close family friend described Colleen as a light and someone who loves to tell a good story. She's 100% the one who will stand up for, as Kristen puts it, stands up for the little guy, even if the little guy towers over her and the bully towers over her. She has a heart of gold and is a spitfire. She's full of life and energy, always has a big smile on her face, and loves to talk to people, very social. However, McNally said that Colleen has diagnosed neurological disorders, which cause her to be highly suggestible, and that she has a hard time with impulse control. She's not allowed to have a cell phone or social media and does not use the internet unless in school or in an area of her house where her family is present. They did all the right things. We believe she was lured because she had gotten a hold of her brother's Chromebook during the night sometime and taken it into her room and started trying to do Google chats. This is definitely not a runaway. This is a missing child who is at high risk. This has not happened before. This isn't typical of her. Because of her neurological disorders, McNally said it's difficult for Colleen to be a part of school organizations or groups, but that she loves and would never leave behind her favorite pet dog, Snoopy. Colleen would never be like, oh, I'm just not going to see Snoopy again. And he's miserable without her. This one dog in particular, she is his person and he is her pet. So this is going to be at the First Congregational Church in Raynham. And they have yard signs and bracelets if you guys are near there. And then they have a GoFundMe as well. Let me put that in chat if you guys want to help out this family. They're probably going to need like private investigator or something. There it is. Let's see where it's at. Oh wow, it's done really good. See, they're asking $20,000 and they're at $13,810, you guys. And it looks like her childhood friend and then you've got the story here. And they redacted the phone. Stupid GoFundMe. So there's the GoFundMe. And she looks different in all these different pictures. I think it would be hard to really identify her, you know, certainly. It says, though, here that she's 5 foot, 120 pounds, reddish pink shoulder length hair, black rimmed glasses and nose ring, small scar on forehead and bottom of chin, and in the area of King and Orchard Streets in Raynham. So let's look at, whoops, the church. Where's it at? First Congregational in Raynham. All right. How do you spell Raynham? Oh, Raynhamma. I just want to see where this is in Maine because I'm not familiar. Whoops. All right, let's zoom out because I'm horrible with geography. Let's go to here. And this will just give you an idea of where they live and where the vigil is as well. I always get confused with these states over here. Hey, Ken Dalton. Yeah, that interrogation is old, just so you know. It's not brand new. It's been out for a while. I know Law and Crime put it out today. So if you're in this area of Raynham, Massachusetts, and if you're in Maine, you are asked to look for Colleen Weaver. And look, if you're looking, you want to look for things that look out of place, I don't think we talk about this. Whoops. I don't think we talk about this enough. What are the signs when you see like a teenager with, someone who looks like he could be her dad? That's not her boyfriend, and you can tell. Look, you got to pay attention to body language. I think that we all get so wrapped up in our everyday life that we don't really pay attention like we should, or like we could, rather. I think we could all be a little more vigilant and a little more aware, because this happens all the time, and I just can't believe that no one picks up on the weirdness, But there was a murder-suicide that I saw earlier, and the neighbor heard domestic violence all the time, he said. And he said, the cops would just eventually show up. It looks like a nice little town, doesn't it? He said the cops would show up and it would calm down, and then he said a few weeks would go by and it would start back up again. But he never did anything more about it, and I think that's where we fail. But you have to look, or grandfather, look for these teens that are with these older men, and it doesn't look right. Look at their body language, their arms crossed, looking down, afraid to make eye contact. But just any kind of odd behavior. I guess it's never, this is kind of rural too. Look, dirt road. Oh no, I thought that was a dirt road. Here's the church that they're going to have the vigil at tonight. Just looks like a quaint little town, and it sounds like, the parents tried to do the right thing by, not letting her have free reign to phones and things like that. And I don't know. Yeah, tensed up, scared, not looking. I think the eye contact thing is huge. I watched the Petito body cam that came out, the one of them walking into Whole Foods or whatever it was. Yes, Casey. Oh my gosh, it made me think of that too. When she's walking in, she's fully got her arms folded. They are not, like together. There's no affection, nothing like that. And we just have to pay attention to it. I think we just don't pay attention. We're just like in our own worlds. She may not, but I'm sure she does by now, Cheryl. Being that it's been 8 days, I bet you she does realize that she's in trouble because she probably misses her dog. She probably wanted to go home after, who knows, maybe right when she met him, she wanted to go home. She was like, who is this creep? But maybe it was okay for a minute. And then when she started to want to go home, it's going to get bad. And, it's like you worry because she's special needs. Like she doesn't have impulse control. What if she gets on his nerves? That's what I'm worried about. And the fact that they're not jumping on, well, maybe now that the FBI's involved 8 days later, maybe the FBI's digital forensics can get on it. I know. Total duck feet, Ken Dalton. I was so right when I called him duck feet. He's totally got duck feet in them sandals, too. He's pitiful.
If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
You missed some because you were on the phone. Yeah, she's special needs. She has neurological disorders. So let's say a prayer for her and hope that whoever took her gets caught and she's okay. Say hello to Miss Summerlou down at the bottom. Hello, Summer. Summerlou. She says hi. Bella is kind of stubborn. She probably won't look. Bella Rose. I sounded British. Bella Rose. Oh, look at Summer. She's so photogenic. You're so photogenic. But Bella is my stubborn one. Potato says, even if things don't look right, people are unlikely to take action because we think if something's really wrong, others will be noticing it too. And if no one else looks concerned, we doubt our judgment. Yeah, we don't want to jump the gun. We don't want to be like, oh, Megs. Hey, Megs. I hope you're feeling better. We don't want to be that person. Shelly says, come here straight away, Bella Rose. Straight away. Which makes me think of this.
Given the fallout. Given the fallout.
That's Kanye West, you guys.
Given the fallout. Given the fallout.
That's Potato when we do our lives. Given the fallout. Speaking of Potato, we did another album live over on the 411, and it hasn't gotten many views, you guys. I'm a little disappointed. I know we were airheads and stuff, but we really did. Actually, Potato put a lot of time into her research, and for Potato, go watch it. I was airheaded in it, but Potato did a really good one on Red Hot Chili Peppers. Given
the fallout. Given the fallout.
Hello, Tracy. Tracy V. I haven't seen you in so long. How are you?
La 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 means let me finish.
I have no clue what Gabby saw in Brian either. Gross. You say potato, I say potato. Who was the president that always said it wrong? Potato, or who couldn't spell potatoes? Who was that? Oh, I wanted to tell you guys about a show that's going to be on HLN on Gabby and Brian. Let me see if I can find it and give you guys the deets. HLN, Gabby, Brian. It's in November, but it's coming up like in a week. Here it is. Toxic Love. And her parents are in this one. Hey, Jay, TCRS. Who's that? Who's TCRS? Asked my opinion on a live last week. I gave him an answer, and he blocked me and said I'm associated with another channel, and I think it's your channel. That guy's an ass. Who's TCRS? Dan Quayle? It was Dan Quayle. Or was it The one who said he who's Nick? Ken. Ken says, "Hi Nick, if you're watching. You seem to know everything I do while you're lurking in the background of lives." Who is Nick? Why does he have beef with me? You say Nick, you lose a testicle.
If you say Ferris Bueller, you lose a testicle.
What is true crime rocket science problem? I have never even talked to that dude. That is so weird.
Jeepers!
La 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 la.
Just say that to him next time, Ken. People are so weird on YouTube. I swear.
La 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 means be quiet and let me finish.
I don't understand why people do that kind of stuff. Yeah, Jimmy Carter was too busy eating peanuts. No, it was Clinton's right-hand man. Not Dan Quayle, but the internet. He said, "I invented the internet." And he couldn't spell potato. Oh. He shouldn't be worried about any channel that you're associated with. What's his? It's not his biz. What a douche canoe. Megs, she says he's not that important, Jay. I've never heard of him. In case he says same.
La 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 means be quiet and let me finish.
Yeah, I mean, Ken Dalton can't go to whatever channel he wants. Like, dude, he's in Ireland. Why does he think he owns you? Tell him to. Shake it off. It was Clinton's, yeah, he's jealous, Ken. Definitely. Because people can't understand him.
Are you ready for this? You can't make this stuff up. I don't want to sound creepy.
Al Gore.
Well, you just sounded creepy.
Al Gore. Bingo. Bingo. That's who it was. He said he invented the internet. Al Gore. Meg says peekaboo. Dan Quayle's the potato guy and Al Gore is the internet guy. Got it. Oh, you guys are so fun. So I guess we need to end this live now. Oh, we got to end our poly poll. Let's end our poll. Where is our poll? Emmy won, but I don't think I ended it, did I? Or is the internet guy? Oh. I must have ended it. So Emmy, next time. No. Yeah, Emmy won. Shit, I'm getting confused now. By George, I think she's got it. Paris Hilton just came out with some bombshells, you guys, about her upbringing. Oh, I ended it a while ago. Thanks, potatoes. So we've got Emmy versus Justice next time. We should talk about what Paris came out. That'd be a good live. Put a 1 in chat. Put a 1 in chat if you saw Kanye West and Pierce Morgan, because that was pretty. The one with Tucker got a little repetitious and kind of boring. We never went over part 2. I know. I'm sorry, guys. You want me to tell you about Paris Hilton right now? She said that she was SA'd when she was away at school. And she goes into detail about it. All this stuff's coming out. It's so icky. The things that go on that we find out about later. Just like Joey Buttafuoco. Like, So I think it was Teresa that said, Teresa said she seemed so much older then. And she did. She seemed so much older. She was younger than me, but she seemed older. All right, I'll give you guys a little. Okay, so this is what's going to be on November 5th. We didn't finish this. November 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern on HLN. This is HLN Investigates Toxic Love, the Gabby Petito Tragedy. So I'm thinking that maybe this is kind of a rebuttal, maybe. A rebuttal to the Lifetime flick. That was a disaster. Look at this puppy dog. She's looking at you guys. She loves you. Say hello to Summer Lou, guys. And then we'll talk Paris for a second. We got Super Kitty down there who's going through the names. Hey, Summer. Oh, now she puts her head down. Look at that pretty girl. She loves you guys. Thank you for all of the treats you guys send from Amazon. She really loves chew toys. And she goes through them. She goes through them very fast. She's quite the character, guys. I'm boring her. Okay. Let's shrink her back down and let's talk a little Paris Hilton. Oh, Summer. I know she's not a big snuggler though, Megs. You know, we want her to snuggle and she's just not a big snuggler. Shelly, you enjoyed the movie? All right, so let's talk a little Paris Hilton for a second. I've got a little time. This is kind of running off, though. We were talking about Adam Montgomery an hour and a half ago. Now we're on Paris Hilton. We've had a lot of debates going on, too, with the governors, which have been pretty heated. Those are interesting to watch, too. I think I've got it saved in watch later. Hold on. There was also another big drug bust here in St. Pete as well. I guess I don't. Let's look it up. Paris Hilton on abuse. It's brand new. It just came out. She did an interview. I'm not sure who it's even with. I gotta find the right. Oh my God. What is this? The Real Housewives? This is not YouTube. This is not what I wanted. Okay. This is a short. Okay, here we go.
Paris Hilton has opened up about her alleged experience of sexual abuse at a boarding school and claims male staff members performed cervical exams on her in the middle of the night.
Sorry for the voice.
The socialite, 41, first came forward with her alleged incidents of physical and mental abuse in 2020 with the release of her YouTube documentary, This is Paris.
This is not what
Hilton attended the Provo Canyon School for 11 months.
I can't stand those kind of videos. There is a video of her. I just have to find the right. These are all like off weird stations. Or channels, I should say. Don't you think she had a weird upbringing, though, Paris Hilton? My God, why can I not find that interview? Is it this?
Mannequins wearing gear. We debuted an and I was left alone to die.
Collective responsibility to.
You're inspiring all of us.
God, I have no idea what that is. I can't find it now. I'm gonna have to go back in my history, I guess.
Paris Hilton claims that she and many other students were systematically abused by staff at Provo Canyon School in Utah. According to her, the violence was covered up by medical examinations, but in fact they were not carried out by medical workers, but by school staff. It was really scary, and it's something that I really had blocked out for many years, said Hilton. Hilton has been constantly talking about her time at the controversial boarding school, and for several years she has been advocating an end to abuse and reform of such schools. Paris Hilton claims that she and many other students were systematically abused by staff at Provo Canyon School in Utah. According to her, the violence was covered up by medical examinations, but in fact they were not carried out by medical workers, but by school staff. It was really scary, and it's something that I really had blocked out for many years, said Hilton. Hilton has been constantly talking about her time at...
So this was a school she went to in Utah. Yikes, Ashley. No, she didn't have a childhood. If you watch, that is a good documentary. This is Paris, the one that she did. It's on YouTube. I'm just irritated that I can't find the one that I just watched last night. But that is a really good documentary. Like, it made me see Paris Hilton in a different way because I only saw her on like that what is it? That reality show she was with Nicole Richie. Is that her name, Nicole Richie? Simple Life? And she was like really airheaded and stuff, but she's a really, really smart girl. Or woman, I should say. She's really, really smart. This is another thing that was very disturbing. There were people in this neighborhood and their cats were going missing. And then this kid was arrested. I made some shorts about it. But this, let's watch
The suspected cat killer is terrorizing.
This is disgusting, you guys. You guys are going to freak. And not only is it disgusting, it's scary. Because you guys know we're true crime followers. What do serial killers start out with? Animals. They start out killing poor little helpless animals like Ethan Crumbly and the birds he was decapitating and leaving in the bathroom at school. Jeff Dahmer and all his experiences with animals. It's some nasty shiz, but this is what they do. And so these people in this neighborhood, their cats started going missing. And then they started looking at Ring doorbell footage. And they saw this kid coming in their driveways and scooping up their cats. There's 12 cats missing. This is in Sacramento, California, in the Orangevale neighborhood. Check this out.
Orangevale community neighbors now fear what or who could be the suspect's next target. They think the mysterious killings are all connected.
Wait to see
That's
this
right.
kid.
CBS 13's Ashley Sharp is digging deeper into this bizarre case.
Neighbors telling me tonight they want this issue to be taken seriously. At a community meeting here tonight in Orangevale, a host of topics was discussed. But right off the bat, these cat killings. Neighbors asking county leadership what can be done. Is a cat killer on the loose in Orangevale? Neighbors say yes.
I have a cat that lives indoor, outdoor. Every night I tried to make sure she's in the house.
They asked us not to show their faces or names out of fear of retaliation.
He has a problem. and he has no empathy.
They say this Ring doorbell video shows the individual in question. CBS 13 has blurred his face. Sacramento County Sheriff's deputies are investigating, but have not confirmed this individual is a suspect. He's seen here walking up to a home, apparently catnapping his victim, and then what appears to be a disturbing escalation.
You see him walking up to a cat, and the cat screeching. You hear a snap and no more screeching.
After neighbors claim more than a dozen mysterious cat killings and disappearances have been reported across Orangevale, neighbors put out these flyers and took to social media. This neighbor,
we're terrified, we live in fear.
Hiring a private investigator out of pocket to find the person.
A private investigator. Look at that pretty cat. A private investigator. I mean, these neighbors are petrified. 12 cats missing.
Responsible. It's bad enough that they're killed, but it just magnifies it that they're tortured. Sweet little kitties that he walks up and grabs.
County Supervisor Sue Frost says she was made aware today and promises it will be taken seriously.
If he's hurting animals, what's next? And we can't just stand by and let that happen in our community.
If you start with cats, you usually don't end there. It often escalates into something bigger.
Neighbors telling me tonight they're not going to give up on this. They're going to continue connecting the dots on social media, linking these mysterious cat killings that they believe come down to one suspect based on the cruelty of the deaths of those animals. We did confirm that the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office is investigating the case. How many cases of animal cruelty is not yet confirmed.
Okay, and then there's a follow-up on this. Okay. Check this out. So they arrest this kid. Hold on. I got to go back to. Okay. Then he's arrested. And then he's let out of jail. And he's only charged with petty theft and animal cruelty. Watch.
These are our babies. I mean, they're our pets. And it's cruel. It's cruelty to animals, and it's not okay.
Despite news of an 18-year-old's arrest accused of cruelty to animals and petty theft, many in the Orangevale community say they are not at ease.
I've been watching my lights on. If I hear any noise, I'm having to get up, go out, make sure, is everything okay? Is my cat still there?
According to the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office, a complaint came from someone who lives on Deanna Avenue about two of her cats being stolen, saying video shows a male coming onto her property. One cat was later found dead. Officials said the other was never found.
People were outraged.
They found one dead. And he's out. Listen to this. You guys are gonna be totally outraged
about this. It's concerning. It's like this really shocks the conscience.
Sergeant Kiana Rose says there are multiple videos being used as evidence in the investigation that has garnered a lot of attention online and sparked deep concerns for people who live in Orangevale over the last few months.
If any other complaints are brought forward, we're going to investigate that as well.
While 18-year-old Colin Lendewig is facing charges, neighbors told us they can't believe he's out of custody on Tuesday, concerned there are more cats involved.
It was elation when we heard that he was arrested, and that only lasted about a minute or so. And then we got another text that he was out.
I understand it's a process, but we're talking about some pretty serious allegations here.
It keeps us awake at night, all of us neighbors.
That's so scary. It would keep me up at night too, knowing that kid's out. Yep. They're waiting for more to happen because it's bound to happen. Right? It's the early signs of serial killing for sure. It's very scary. It's very scary. One more interesting video for you before we end. So I got to go make dinner. It's almost 6 o'clock. But this was interesting because we all watched Adventures with Purpose pull out car after car, when they do their things. And I came across this and I thought it was so interesting. They're doing this pull of the Ohio River. And I think you guys are going to be shocked at how many cars they found from years and years past. This is kind of a crazy report. So it kind of gives you the idea of how those guys stay busy, right? Because you're going to see. Watch.
More than a dozen vehicles have been fished out of the Ohio River since Friday. This is part of a coordinated effort led by law enforcement. Reporter Valerie Lyons takes a deep dive into the project.
No pun intended.
That's a lot of junk, and it's moving down the Ohio River.
We've never had anything of this magnitude going on before.
But not just any junk. You're looking at piled up cars that, until now, were submerged under the water.
One of them, maybe like a 1940s or 50s car. Doesn't mean they've been down there since then, but probably been down there a while.
For the past month, the Hamilton County Police Association dive team used new sonar technology to scan the river.
It looks like a big torpedo that you pull behind a boat.
Hey, how deep's that car? WCPO jumped on board with divers to get an exclusive look at that process. It helped them identify the cars but not fish them out. So they found a river cleanup operation to do the heavy lifting.
Working and labeling them with little buoys here and there, and then we came to town with our excavator and operations here to then remove with the dive team as they go under and mark the cars for us to then pick up with our excavator.
The week-long project is a first-of-its-kind effort to preserve and restore the river. But it's not just to clear debris. Crews hope the sunken metal might reveal a treasure trove of evidence.
We'll go to any lengths to try and solve a crime, even digging up cars from the bottom of the river.
The team of divers and river cleanup specialists have been hard at work. There's 26 miles of Hamilton County shoreline, and in the past 4 days, they've already pulled 10 cars from the river. And they say they're not done filling up this barge.
Some of these cars have been in here 30, 40, 50 years. And when they're in the water that long, they're very, very difficult to identify and find out why they were put there. That's when Cincinnati's Investigative Services Unit can run the VIN numbers, look into the vehicles, get a better view on the top side of the water.
Crews expect to pull a total of 14 cars by Friday. But while this operation will end, the recovery effort will continue.
From the bank, 160 feet towards the center of the river has been covered. Obviously, more objects or vehicles or things could have floated out further into the river, so that makes it more challenging.
Because this dive team is determined to uncover all the secrets hidden beneath. Valerie Lyons, WCPO 9 News.
Crazy town. They're pulling out 14 cars this week. And this is the Ohio River, and they've never done anything like this. So, I mean, props to law enforcement for getting this updated technology. I think it's great. With all the talk of, defunding the police, it's good to see them moving forward instead of backwards. And I thought it was just interesting that there's that many cars in water for that many years just in the Ohio River. So it makes sense that they stay busy. Imagine all the bodies of water in America. It's pretty crazy to think about. All right, you guys. Well, I guess we went over a lot of stuff. Thanks for sticking around. We are just shy of 2 hours. And again, you guys give so much love to my friend Teresa Strunk in chat. She is an old elementary, junior high school buddy of mine. So give her lots of love to Teresa. Thank you for staying the whole time, Teresa. And I'm so glad that you chatted today. It was really nice to hear from you. So I hope everything's well with your family and everything's good in good old Romeo. It's late October. You guys are getting ready for Halloween and it's probably cold and everybody's got their dead corn husks on the porch. And meanwhile, I'm going to go barbecue a couple burgers because it's like 80 some degrees here. So Teresa, anytime you come down here, let me know. I'm in the St. Pete area. Love to see you again. All right, guys, we're going to dance it out and I will see you guys on the flip side tomorrow, early morning. We've got Jennifer and James Crumbly. Teresa, did you follow Ethan? I mean, that was right by, where we grew up. The Ethan Crumbly, the Oxford High School shooting. Oh, the leaves. I missed that. So tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning, the Crumblies are going to be in court and we're going to be live. So be here or be square for that fiasco. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with their upcoming trial and if it's going to be rescheduled. So I'll see you guys. There's an event. Go ahead and click that reminder so you don't forget. Yes, Ken Dalton, one of my favorites. Woo! Mike Sanders says only 19K more to reach 100K by Christmas. So please subscribe. Even if you never come back, subscribe. I'm just kidding. Yes, coffee and crumblies in the morning. I'll see you guys then.
Roberta.
Dance it out. Bye, onesies.
That's how it played out.
Good night, Megs. Good night, everyone. Good night, Olive. Good night, Rexy. Mwah. Love you guys.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
And he does not know.
I don't give a damn. You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. About you and your problems. Take it to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time for that. So let me staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back.
What the French call les incompetents.